Hello horror fans! I am Torstein from Cinema Terror, and yet again I am bringing you a forgotten piece of Euro horror, this time with Joe D'Amato's 1991 effort Return from Death, Frankenstein 2000. The plot of this film is confusing. We are introduced to a family that lives in a small city in Austria. The mother, Georgia, is struggling with her telekinesis abilities and occasionally nightmare dreams or hallucinations about her little boy being decapitated in all sorts of ways. Her husband are often gone on work, and they also have a friend in the local old guy named Rick. This small town is pretty much ran by an elderly rich man who is keeping a tight lid on anything bad happening here to avoid bad press for some reason. It is even ignored by the local police that a group of 3 evil young adults is going around causing harm to others for no other reason than just being bored. Things escalate one day when they decide to give Georgia a home visit, and after this terrible night she starts to get a telepathic relationship with Rick, who at this point has passed away.
Please, leave me alone. I promise I won't tell anyone. I won't say a thing.
I guess that's a valid conclusion of what the hell this movie was about, I think. It's all over the place and throws stuff at you that make you go what the fuck every 10th minute. If they were going for the unexpected, then I guess they did in fact succeed. This is a typical what the hell type of movie that the Italians did the best during the later years of the 80s and early 90s. This one is produced by none other than Filmy Rage, Joe D'Amato's very own production company, that was responsible for the majority of D'Amato's flicks in the 80s and also some that was directed by others such as Umberto Lenzi and Lucio Fulci. D'Amato takes the job of directing this himself, and it turned out to be one of the last regular films he did before venturing into adult features, which he would keep himself busy with all the way up until his death in 1999. I can't exactly pinpoint what it is about D'Amato's movies that seem to make them watchable regardless of how poor quality some of them really are. And that can also be said about Return from Death Frankenstein 2000, as it definitely is not a great piece of cinema, but for some odd reason I found myself strangely invested in it, even if I could hardly understand what was going on, and more importantly, why the things that happen occur in the first place. I guess the original idea was that D'Amato wanted to update the good old Frankenstein story into a modern tale. And while there is some stuff that can be taken as references to the old Frankenstein movies, like the creature itself and the relationship it has with both Georgia and her son, you would have to really look hard for it to really spot it. It sort of becomes a rape revenge movie at the final part, with a Frankensteinish monster doing the revenge part, although he forgets that he is only supposed to attack the bad guys. The different stuff that are introduced, like Georgia's telekinesis abilities and the whole town being ran by a corrupt businessman or whatever he was supposed to be, doesn't really seem to do that much or go anywhere. It's just weird random stuff being included because why not? At one point the Frankenstein monster attacks people at some kind of Nazi party or something. So yeah, random weird stuff that I doubt anyone else than me would find any entertainment in.
That's a great costume, motherfucker. You look like Frankenstein.
The acting is all awful, and the atrocious English dubbing just makes it even worse. I am happy that I did see it with this language track, as it doesn't take many minutes before I started to watch this as an odd experience, not getting myself invested in the story or anything like that. I should note that I didn't mind Donald O'Brien as the character of Rick, but that's about it. Return from Death Frankenstein 2000 is a shitty film that somehow managed to portray some charm, to me at least. This is not something I can recommend to the average movie watcher, or even the average horror movie watcher, but for those of us who can appreciate Joe D'Amato, the movie does have something to offer. It's hard to put words on exactly what, but even if I think the movie is crap in all cinematic aspects, I would be lying if I found it to be boring to sit through. And that's not an achievement that I take lightly, as I watch countless amount of horror films during my life, and whenever something can keep my attention, regardless if it's for good or bad, then I can't really say that I dislike it, now can I? Return from Death Frankenstein 2000 is for fans of D'Amato, Claudio Fragasso and Bruno Mattei. If those names are unfamiliar to you, then just skip this film. If you enjoy this trio of weird filmmakers, then this might be worth your time. I am almost ashamed of giving this the good score of 3 out of 5. Now who in the world has seen this film but me? If not, then what do you think of the long filmography of Joe D'Amato? I'm not really sure if I have a favorite movie of his. I seem to find something to enjoy about most of his stuff, although I am only like 15 or 20% deep into his filmography. That is, if you remove his adult films. If you want to hear me talk about a good Italian horror film that more people definitively need to check out, then take a look at my review of the 1963 film The Demon. It has some exorcism stuff in it that was done 10 years before The Exorcist. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want more reviews of D'Amato movies, then pressing that like button or sending me recommendations does get my attention. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and see you next time here on Cinema Terror.